The series begins with a girl named Wednesday, and she enters her school. But as soon as she enters the school, all the students stay away from her path because of her strange clothes that make her look like she came out of a black and white movie. Besides, she killed 2 people who were with her at the school before because they bullied her younger brother Pugsley. He takes Wednesday to her locker, and as soon as she opens it, she finds her brother Pugsley tied up inside. She gets angry at him because he let his school friends bully him again. She asks him who did this to you, but he can't answer her because there's an apple in his mouth and he can't speak to get out of this locker. But as soon as she touches him, suddenly her body freezes like she's been electrocuted, and she sees something like a vision of the boys who bullied her brother. So she decides she will take revenge on them. She goes out to the pool where they are, and she throws in a type of fish with teeth and white color. She warns them if they come near her brother again, she will kill them all. When the school finds out what happened, they expel her, so she quickly returns home. At that time, her father and mother decide they will transfer her to a magic school, and this school is called Nevermore because she is originally from a family of all witches. There at that school, she will deal with people like her. Her mother tells her about her memories at this school and says to her that she will learn new magical powers and will love them a lot. She warns her not to cause any new problems because she has already been expelled from 8 schools before. She tells her Wednesday will know in less than a week. When she arrives at the school, the principal enters the room. It appears that Wednesday is very isolated, and all her words are blunt and gloomy to the point that she hurts anyone who talks to her. So the principal warns her not to cause any problems at the school. She tells her that she will transfer her to the same room her mother was in before. So Wednesday goes up to her room and meets the girl she will stay with in the room, whose name is Enid. She is a very cute girl and loves colors, unlike the gloomy Wednesday who always loves the color black. At that time, the principal asks her to tour the school and meet the students. So Enid goes down with her to the school courtyard and starts telling her about the school. She says to her that it is a school built to gather witches, also werewolves and vampires. She tells her that she is a werewolf, but she hasn't transformed yet until now. She gives her the school uniform to wear and leaves her to say goodbye to her father and mother. So she says goodbye to them. Her father leaves her a severed human hand, but it can move and also communicate in sign language. Its name is Thing, and her father, whose name is Gomez, leaves Thing at the school to report her news to him. Wednesday goes up to her room and divides a room between her and Enid. She removes all the colors present in her half of the room. Enid gets very upset with her because she did that, but before they fight, suddenly Marilyn enters and welcomes Wednesday to the school. It appears that Marilyn is suspicious and talks to Wednesday very happily, as if she was waiting for her to come to school early. After Marilyn leaves, Wednesday goes down to the courtyard to walk. At that moment, a large statue falls on the school roof, and it is falling on Wednesday and will kill her. But suddenly, a student from the school named Xavier appears, and he saves her before the statue falls on her. He takes her to the infirmary, and as soon as she wakes up, he tells her that he saved her because she saved him before when they were children. The next day, she goes with the principal to the psychologist who will treat her, whose name is Dr. Kinbot. When they arrive at the infirmary, the principal tells her that she will stay waiting for her downstairs in case she tries to escape, so she can catch her. So Wednesday goes up to the infirmary and talks to Dr. Kinbot. Her attitude with her is very cold, and she refuses to tell her anything. While they are talking, she asks to go to the bathroom, and as soon as she enters, she quickly escapes through the window and hides from the principal so she doesn't see her. She goes to a cafe near the infirmary and asks the boy working at the cafe, whose name is Tyler, for her coffee. But he tells her wait a bit because the coffee machine is broken. So Wednesday offers to fix the coffee machine for him in exchange for him taking her to the train station. Tyler agrees, and she actually fixes a machine for him. While she is sitting drinking her coffee, she is bullied by the mayor's son, whose name is Lucas, but she manages to hit him and his friends. At that moment, the sheriff, whose name is Galpin, arrives with the principal. The principal scolds her for what she did and takes her away. But before she leaves, the sheriff warns her and says to her that he will watch her because her father was accused in a murder case 30 years ago. When she returns to her room, she discovers that Thing is watching her. So she tells him that if he doesn't help her, she will cut off all his fingers. She asks him to go with her to a party at the end of the week and help her escape from this place at that party. He agrees, and it appears that he likes her and is ready to do anything for her. She doesn't understand what makes him like that. On the day of the party, Tyler goes at the appointed time. While they are trying to escape from the party, Wednesday sees a vision. She sees her schoolmate, whose name is Rowan, will be trapped in the forest, so she decides to help him. She quickly enters the forest until she finds Rowan and tells him that he must get out of the forest quickly because he will die. But suddenly, Rowan's behavior changes, and he tells her that he made her see this vision to lure her to the forest to kill her because she is a witch and his mother warned him about her. He also shows her a picture his mother drew. But before he kills her, suddenly a monster with a strange appearance appears, attacks Rowan and kills him. Then it escapes from the place. So Wednesday quickly goes to the principal's office and tells her that Rowan was killed in the forest. But she doesn't believe her because when the police went to the crime scene, they didn't find a body or even any trace of a murder. The sheriff asks to talk to Wednesday and tells her that he doesn't have time for these kids' games. But suddenly, his assistant interrupts them and tells him that Rowan returned to the school. Wednesday is shocked when she sees him because, in reality, it's not Rowan. The principal impersonated him to hide his death from the police, so they wouldn't close the school. The next day, the principal immediately tells him that Rowan was expelled from the school and impersonates him again to walk him out of school in front of all the students. Naturally, all the students believe that he was expelled, but at that moment, Wednesday tries to talk to Rowan, but he asks her to stay away from him and leaves. Thing keeps following him until he enters the bathroom at the train station. At that moment, the principal transforms into another person and leaves the bathroom to return to the school. The next day, Wednesday goes to look for evidence to prove Rowan is dead. When she gets there, she finds his glasses thrown on the ground. She realizes then that he is dead, and someone is trying to hide this news from people. As soon as she touches the glasses, she sees a vision of Rowan arguing with Xavier on the night he died. She sees a strange book in his hand, and it's the same book that was in the picture his mother drew. So Wednesday starts looking for the location of this book until she notices a symbol drawn next to the picture. She learns from Marilyn that this symbol belongs to a group called Nightshade that existed before but doesn't exist now. The next day, Wednesday participates in a competition with her other schoolmates. While they are competing, she falls to the ground and sees a vision of a girl who looks very much like her, but her clothes are strange, as if she lived in the past. This girl tells her that she is the key. When Wednesday wakes up, she continues the competition. Then she quickly returns to the school. At that moment, she sees a symbol behind the statue and goes down the stairs. She finds herself in a strange-looking library and sees a picture of her mother and father hanging on the wall. Wednesday starts quickly searching for the book to return to her room before anyone notices her absence. As soon as she finds the book, she puts it in her bag quickly. Suddenly, someone attacks her and hits her on the head. Wednesday loses consciousness at that moment. When she wakes up, she finds herself tied to a chair, surrounded by her schoolmates. They tell her at that moment that they are the Nightshade group, but they meet in secret, so they don't get expelled from the school. Xavier offers her at that moment to join them, but she refuses and tells him that they are little kids. She easily unties herself, leaves in the library, and goes up to her room. The next day, she asks Xavier about the picture Rowan gave her. He tells her that he doesn't know what he wanted from her, but he says to her that the person with her in the picture is Joseph, the one who founded their town. So she goes and asks about Joseph's place. They tell her it's in the forest, but that place is abandoned. So she leaves them and goes to the forest to discover the secret of her connection to Joseph. When she gets there, she finds a strange person in that place. Thing attacks him. The strange person approaches, and she tries to search for anything in the place, but it's empty. So she decides to leave. As soon as she touches the door, she sees a new vision and goes back in time 400 years. She sees Joseph and the rest of the townspeople gathering the witches to burn them and get rid of their evil. Among these witches, she sees the girl she saw before in the vision, who is Goody, her ancestor from 400 years ago. She sees Goody escaping from Joseph before he burns her. When Wednesday wakes up, she finds herself still in the same place. She decides here to quickly return to her school. Before she leaves, she hears the sound of the monster's footsteps, but as soon as it sees her, it quickly escapes. Wednesday follows it and notices that its footprints are still marked on the ground, as if they were the footprints of a normal human. Suddenly, it appears in front of her. She tells it that she discovered the monster might be a human, who transforms into a beast. But when she tries to show him the footprints she saw, she finds they disappeared because of the rain. He tells her that he tried to talk to Rowan, and he answered, but he discovered that the one who answered wasn't Rowan, and that someone impersonated him, just as she said. At the end of the day, the strange person she saw in the morning is fixing his camera. Suddenly, the monster attacks him and kills him, but the camera captures several pictures of the monster. When the police investigate the case, they find a camera and take these pictures. They recognize the monster's appearance. The next day, Wednesday goes to the morgue and sees the body of the strange person. She hears the doctor telling the sheriff that the monster cuts a limb from each person it kills. So Wednesday decides here that she will investigate this case herself and discover the truth about this monster. The next day at school, she waits until Xavier leaves. She enters his room and finds many drawings of the monster. So she suspects that Xavier is the monster. She takes one of these drawings and decides to go to the sheriff. But as soon as she leaves the room, she finds Xavier in front of her, and he asks her what she is doing here. She tells him that she was looking for him to invite him to the party held at the school. He agrees to go with her to the party, leaves her, and walks away. She goes to the sheriff and shows him the drawing she has. The sheriff tells her that if she brings him one piece of evidence of the monster's existence, he will help her. She agrees, leaves him, and goes to her schoolmates. She finds the cave that Xavier drew in his room. When she enters the cave, she finds a lot of bones and body parts. She finds a tooth from the monster's teeth and leaves the place. She decides to go to Xavier's room to take something from there and do a DNA test to see if it's Xavier's and the monster's tooth. While she is in the room, Xavier arrives and asks her what she is doing. She tells him the truth and says to him that she suspects he is the monster. Xavier argues with her because she suspects him. He tells her that he only sees this monster in his dreams, which is why he draws it, and he kicks her out. She goes to the sheriff and asks him to do a DNA test on these samples to see if they match. At that moment, Thing sends Tyler an invitation to attend the party the school is holding with Wednesday. On the day of the party, she prepares to go to the forest with Eugene to search for evidence to identify the monster. But she is surprised by Tyler knocking on the door. He tells her that he agrees to go with her to the party. So Wednesday quickly changes her clothes to go to the party. She tells Eugene that they will go to the forest the next day. At the party, the students admire her because she looks very beautiful in the dress. Before the party ends, Lucas and his friends play a prank on all the students and pour paint on them. At that moment, Wednesday sees a vision that Eugene is in the forest, and Eugene is attacked by the monster. She quickly runs to the forest to try to catch up with him, but unfortunately, she arrives too late. The monster attacked Eugene, but luckily it didn't kill him. They quickly take Eugene to the hospital. The next day, Wednesday goes to visit him and check on him. She promises him that she will eliminate this monster. She returns to the school to meet her father and mother, who came to visit her. They all go to Dr. Kinbot. When they arrive at the infirmary, she starts asking her father and mother about the murder case he is accused of, but her mother refuses to answer her. So Wednesday leaves them and walks away. On her way back to school, she sees her mother visiting a person named Garrett, the person her father is accused of killing 30 years ago. But she doesn't know what makes her mother visit him at a time like this. At that moment, the sheriff discovers that Dr. Kinbot forged a report about Garrett 30 years ago. So the sheriff decides to arrest Wednesday's father to be tried because he killed Garrett. Wednesday decides then to visit her father in prison and asks him about what happened with Garrett. He tells her the truth and says to her that Garrett loved her mother so much, which is why he wanted to kill him one day. Garrett decided to attack him, but her mother killed Garrett to defend him. He took the sword from her to be tried instead of her. When Wednesday returns to school, she finds her mother in the Nightshade library. She asks her about the reason for her visit to Garrett. Her mother tells her the truth and tells her the same story her father told her, but she suspects that both of them are lying. She and her mother dig up Garrett's body to dissect it. They go to the lab and dig until they reach the body. Wednesday cuts off his finger to dissect it, but at that moment, the police arrive, arrest him, and imprison him too. While they are in the station, Wednesday sees a vision of the night Garrett died. She sees her father giving him poison to put in the drink that will be distributed to the students and kill them all. But while he was with her father, the poison bottle broke in his pocket, poisoned him, and he died. She decides to go to the mayor the next day and tell him everything. The next day in the mayor's office, he tells her that everything she says is true, but he was forced to hide this truth because Garrett's father knew a lot. He agrees to release her father from prison. The next day, Wednesday tells her mother about the vision she sees. Her mother tells her that she also saw visions when she was young and says to her that Goody will guide her to the right path and teach her how to control this power. She gives her pictures that her mother and her friends took when they were at the school. Wednesday notices that the principal was impersonating her mother at the party. She quickly goes to the principal's office and tells her that she finally discovered the truth, which is that she was impersonating Rowan to cover up the murder. The principal tells her that she did all this to protect the school's reputation. They look from the balcony quickly to see what that sound is. They see a sentence written in fire on the plants. Wednesday is shocked when she sees the sentence because she saw it before in a vision. The next day, her friends hold a surprise party for her in Joseph the witch's basement. But she isn't interested in the party and searches for anything related to Joseph, the first monster. She finds a sentence written on the wall, and it's the same sentence that was written on the plants in the school courtyard. As soon as Wednesday touches the sentence, she loses consciousness and sees a vision. She is talking to Goody. Goody tells her that she must search for the Garrett family's mansion to discover the truth. The next day, Wednesday goes to the Garrett family's mansion, but she finds the mayor there. She quickly hides before he sees her and hears him talking to the sheriff. He says to him that he knows who is committing these murders in the town and asks him to meet him at Tyler's cafe to tell him quickly. Wednesday hides in the trunk of his car to go with him without him seeing her. When they arrive at the cafe, the mayor gets out of the car. As he crosses the road, a strange car hits him and drives away. They quickly take the mayor to the hospital, but he dies there because someone cut his oxygen tube. At the end of the day, Wednesday plays a prank on Enid and Tyler and tells them that she wants to go out with them. But in reality, she wants to go to the Garrett family's mansion. When Tyler and Enid find out that she tricked them, they get very upset with her, but they are forced to help her. They all enter the mansion. Wednesday believes she is the cause of everything happening. She takes Laurel's toy that is in her room. At that moment, they hear the monster's sound in the house. They try to escape quickly before it kills them. They go down to the house's basement. Wednesday notices here that the limbs the monster was stealing from the people it killed are in this basement. She also sees the car that hit the mayor, but she escapes quickly before the monster kills her. As soon as she leaves the mansion, she is injured in her chest. Suddenly, they take her to Tyler's house to treat her. At the same moment, the sheriff arrives at the house. Wednesday asks him to show him the basement of the Garrett family's mansion. He agrees. When they go to the basement, they don't find anything she saw, as if all those things disappeared. The sheriff tells her that he is tired of her kids' games and warns her to stay away from his son again. He takes her back to the school. At that moment, the principal tells her that she will expel her. Wednesday tells her the truth and asks for one last chance to save the school. The principal agrees and gives her a chance. Wednesday goes up to her room and looks at Laurel's toy. Suddenly, the toy projects pictures of Wednesday. She realizes that Laurel was watching her. The next day, at the mayor's funeral, she notices a strange person was at the funeral. When Wednesday walks toward him, he escapes from her. She follows him to the forest and discovers that he is her Uncle Fester, who came to the town to check on her. She tells him how she is chasing a strange monster that kills people in the town. When she shows him, he tells her that it's a monster called Hyde, and you'll find information about this Hyde monster in the notes of the person who founded the Nevermore School, specifically in the library. She tells him that they will go to the library at night. At the end of the day, Wednesday actually goes to the library and finds the notes, just as her uncle said. When she searches through them, she finds information about the Hyde monster and learns here that there's a person controlling this monster. So she decides to watch Xavier to find out who is controlling him. While she is watching him, Xavier calls Dr. Kinbot and tells her that he saw her die in a dream and must meet her. Wednesday suspects Dr. Kinbot here, expecting that she is the one controlling the monster. She goes to her infirmary and confronts her with Laurel's toy, telling her that she is the cause of everything happening. But Dr. Kinbot thinks she's crazy and kicks her out of her infirmary. She tells her that she doesn't know anything about what she's talking about. At the end of the day, Wednesday finds Thing stabbed with a knife. She quickly removes the knife, takes Thing, and goes to her uncle. Her uncle tries to revive him and succeeds. When Wednesday asks him who did this to him, he says he doesn't know. She goes to the principal's office and tells her about everything that happened. The principal tells her that the Hyde monster is very dangerous and that this monster can easily kill her. Wednesday goes to Xavier's room in the forest and tells him that she discovered he is the monster. She finds Eugene's glasses and Dr. Kinbot's necklace in his room too, after they found Dr. Kinbot killed in the morning. Xavier tries to defend himself because he is not the monster, but the police arrive at that moment and arrest him. The next day, she goes and tells him that she finally found the monster. They try to get closer to each other. Suddenly, Wednesday sees a vision and sees the night Dr. Kinbot was killed. She discovers that the monster escaped from her quickly. She returns to the school and calls him the next day to meet her in the forest after agreeing with her schoolmates to help her get Xavier out of prison and trap Tyler because he is the real monster. Tyler goes to meet her in the forest. She tells him that she discovered his truth and that she knows he is the real monster, but he denies all this in a kind and gentle manner. She makes her schoolmate, whose name is Bianca, use her supernatural power to put him to sleep. They take him to Xavier's room in the forest and start torturing him to confess everything. Her schoolmates decide to leave her because they didn't agree on this, and the sheriff might arrest them all because they are torturing him. But she doesn't care and tortures him to confess. At that moment, the sheriff arrives and arrests her. At the station, he tells her that he won't imprison her, but warns her not to approach Tyler again. Before she leaves the station, Tyler talks to her about the truth in a vision and tells her that he is indeed the monster, but she won't be able to prove it. When Wednesday returns to the school, she tries to convince the principal that he is indeed the monster, but naturally, she doesn't believe her and tells her that she is expelled from the school and will leave the next day. The next day, the principal takes her herself. They pass by the hospital so she can say goodbye to Eugene before she leaves. She finds Eugene finally awake, and he tells her about what he saw in the forest on the day the monster attacked him. He tells her that the woman who was at the cave was wearing red shoes. Wednesday remembers at that moment that the only one who wears red shoes is Marilyn. She asks the principal for one last chance before she leaves and asks her to impersonate Tyler to trap Marilyn with words. The principal agrees, and they quickly return to the school. Wednesday goes to Marilyn's room, confronts her with the truth, and tells her that Tyler told her everything. Marilyn starts telling her the truth and says to her that she is Laurel, Garrett's sister, and she is indeed the cause of everything happening. She did all this to bring Joseph back from the dead and eliminate all the witches again. At that moment, the principal appears in her true form and tells her that she finally discovered her secret and arrests her. But suddenly, she hits her on the head and she loses consciousness. When she wakes up, she finds herself tied up in front of Joseph's tomb with Laurel in front of her. Laurel tells her that she will bring Joseph back from the dead and he will destroy her school. Laurel cuts her hand, puts drops of her blood on the tomb's key, and starts reciting a spell on the tomb. Suddenly, the tomb shakes, and the limbs she put in jars start assembling into Joseph's form. As soon as Joseph sees Wednesday, he thinks she is Goody, the one who killed him 400 years ago. He tells her that he will kill her to take revenge on her after all these years. He stabs her in the heart and leaves her to die. He goes to the school to burn it and all the witches. At the same moment, Goody appears to Wednesday and tells her that the school needs her and that she will heal her wound. Goody enters Wednesday's body and she attacks him. Wednesday leaves him and quickly goes to the school to kill Joseph. When she gets there, she starts attacking him with a sword to kill him, but he breaks the sword in her hand. He controls her with his power and is about to kill her. Suddenly, Bianca appears from behind him and stabs him, but he doesn't die. He turns to her, hits her, and returns to Wednesday to kill her, but he is surprised by her stabbing him in the heart, and Joseph dies forever. Suddenly, Laurel appears with a gun and threatens to kill Wednesday. Suddenly, Eugene's bees attack her and keep stinging her. With that, the school year ends and all the students go on a long vacation before returning to school the next year. While Wednesday is on her way home, she receives a message from a strange person. He says in the message that he is watching her and will kill her one day. As soon as she sees the message, she thinks she has eliminated all her enemies. But in reality, there are still other enemies she hasn't discovered yet. She decides to search for her enemies when she returns to the school again. She continues her way home to enjoy her vacation, and the series ends. Thank you for watching.